Jubilee just uploaded a new episode called One Conservative versus 25 LGBTQ plus activists, featuring Michael Knowles, who is the conservative person that is against trans, and he has his own stance, and he will go head on head with 3 trans women talking about it in this Surrounded series. So let's go a bit and check out what he is talking about and what the trans women have to say.
Claim is that transgenderism. My next claim is that transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely.
Oof, that's tough. Oh my God, she's running. She.
Hi.
Hello.
Blossom. She, her, hers powerhouse.
Blossom Powerhouse, lovely to meet you.
Yes. Go ahead. I want to know your ideology around transgenderism, something that doesn't exist.
Go ahead. Weren't you the one who's supposed to talk about it now? But that's funny.
It just sounds more like conservative propaganda. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about what you're trying to communicate.
Okay, I think for all of history everywhere, people have understood the human person to have something to do with his body. So like your body has something to do with who you are. Now there is an alternative view, which is called Gnosticism. It's a view that our bodies don't really have anything to do with who we are, that the body is maybe even evil, and that our true selves have no connection to our bodies. And I see in the transgender ideology a kind of Gnosticism that says that you could look like a man, you could have a man's genetics, you could have a man's genitals, you could have a man's everything, but if you feel on some deep level that you're really a woman, then you are really a woman. And I don't think that's true, and I think that the social effects of that are really bad because it leads to the depriving women of their legitimate rights. In some cases it leads to rapes, notably in the last few years, and it also leads to women losing their sports competitions and their scholarships, and it's just disordered and false. And it also leads to more people adopting this identity, which leads to very high rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide. So it's bad for everyone, and it's not grounded in reality.
Oh, I don't even think you understand what you say sometimes.
What do you mean? He literally explained everything so well, in so many details, but even like really short to not take a lot of your time. He came prepared, and you're saying you don't even know what you're talking about. Please enlighten us. Let's see what she has to say.
I don't think you even understand what you say, because when we talk about these rape cases of women in the restroom, they're coming from cis men like you. So let's be very clear where it's coming from.
No, that's not true. In 2021...
Excuse me, do not interrupt a black woman.
No, he is trying to literally tell you that you are not right. And he has the right to interrupt you if you are saying something and stating something that is not right. Because if you move on and you continue, it means that he is agreeing with you. But he has something to say before you continue with the subject. So the fact that you are going so defensive about this, pointing a finger at him, it means,
I'm just trying to correct you. Well, I would never interrupt a black woman.
No, thank you. Here's the thing about...
I would never...
Don't interrupt a trans woman when she's speaking. Wow. Yeah. He would only interrupt a trans woman when she's speaking. He wouldn't interrupt anyone else who is claiming something that he doesn't agree with.
Interrupt a black woman.
No, thank you. Here's the thing about me as a black trans woman. I am not a threat to cis women, and I think it is harmful that you are going around here spewing that rhetoric, weaponizing this rhetoric against trans people.
Weaponizing facts?
Transgenderism does not exist. We as trans people exist. We are 1% of the population, and there is a lot of power in the trans identity, because you are sitting here spewing something to me that doesn't really exist.
I'm not spewing anything. I'm just stating facts plainly.
I have lived experience. You don't. And
I love how she thinks, because she would not do something that the whole group of trans people, not even one person, would misuse that and take the opportunity to be unfair and do whatever they want to do to women in bathrooms. How can you speak in the name of other people? What do you know what their agenda, what their hidden secrets are? How can you speak for others? I understand you're talking about yourself, but we're not talking about you. Why are you taking this so personally?
You never will. But I do have a question
I have
for
lived
you.
experience.
What if one of your
I'm alive.
what if one of your kids came out as trans? How would you
God
react
forbid.
to that?
I mean, I would obviously love my children, and I
Okay.
would try to do what's best for my children. And the best thing that I could do to be respectful and also to be conducive to their flourishing is to tell them the truth, which is that they're not really girls.
Oh, come on. I can't even imagine your relationship with your children. No shade. But
Great. That's a great.
No shade, but just shading you.
I just cannot even imagine that. But here's the reality.
Wow.
We exist. Again, people like you do not have the intellectual capacity to hold conversations like this because in a minute you're going to reduce this down to genitalia, and then we're going to have to shift it somewhere else because obviously
No, in
people
a
like
minute-
you, that's where they go, right?
In a minute, what I'm going to do is correct something you said. When you said that
Go ahead.
the rapes that have occurred in these bathrooms are cis men.
White cis men, I should say, actually.
Yeah, that isn't true. Loudoun County, 2021, the big case that actually ended up flipping the state was because there was a boy who wore a skirt, went into the girls' bathroom and raped a girl in a particularly hideous way. And do you know what happened? Hold on, don't cut me off. You said...
So how are we gonna know who's trans or not if they are wearing a skirt? What are we? How far are we gonna? Are we gonna have a bodyguard in front of a bathroom who will have like a agreement, and then you have to sign that agreement, and then you can go into the bathroom and they can check as well a thing or two or test you? Like how are we gonna know these things? Like, please make it make sense.
You said you
A
wouldn't...
cis boy. It was not a trans woman. All y'all do
I don't
is
think
go back to cis boys. You're always talking about cis boys.
he was wearing-
I don't
he
understand
was
the
wearing-
fascination
he-
with trans bodies and what's happening in the bathroom. It is mostly happening
I think
from
you're
white, cis
filibustering because you
men.
don't want me to tell you what happened in the
filibuster
bathroom.
who?
Me. I think you're
Oh,
filibustering
child,
me.
no.
I think that you're
No.
distracting from the fact that a boy wearing a skirt in a girl's
A
bathroom raped a
boy,
girl.
but not a trans woman.
Well, there's no such thing as a trans woman.
Oh, yes,
so
it is.
that's
You're looking at one right now.
I'm looking
You're
at-
looking at me
I'm
right
looking
now.
at
with lived experience.
I'm looking
with
at a-
lived experience. You are looking at a
Okay, wait. Are you trying to tell me that she cut her pee-pee? Because if she did that, then it's fine. Because how would she actually do the deed in the bathroom against a woman? So, hear me out. A bodyguard. You know where I'm going, right? A bodyguard that will flip that skirt, check twice, and then approve. If you don't have anything down there that can actually harm a woman, then you are welcome to go into that bathroom. But, yeah.
trans
I would
woman who has been
say-
transitioning for over 20
That's on
years, who
Yeah.
has lived experience.
Yes,
You're
but-
talking to
but
an
your
activist here.
but your
You're
identity
talking to a
is not
debater here.
grounded
You're
in
talking to somebody
reality.
that's extreme. Oh, I am reality.
I'm not really talking to
In your
anyone because you
head,
keep
I'm not.
talking over
in
me.
your head, I'm not, but I am in reality.
Yeah.
I'm here in front of you right now talking to you.
You're confused
Because
about your
you
identity.
know you are confused
I'm not
at the fact
confused.
that you don't really have any talking points right now because I'm
Then why
lived
aren't you letting me
experience.
speak?
You really don't.
If I have nothing to say,
Take me
why
on
aren't you
your
letting
show.
me
Put me
speak?
on your show.
I-
How about that?
Then it would become your
How about
show, I
that?
think.
Oh, yeah, I should have a show. I should have a show.
In
But go ahead.
2018, there were 2 rapes in bathrooms, and one in Wisconsin, one in Georgia.
From men,
also
cis
because
men,
of the
say it.
transgender identity.
But say it, cis men.
If
cis men.
you're going to describe a boy who wears a skirt and goes into a girl's bathroom
No, you
as
are.
a cis man, no, I didn't.
No, you are. This is the example that
You just said that. You literally just said that.
you run to. Past that, you have nothing.
I've just given
You
you 3
have
examples.
nothing.
I've given you 3
You have
examples in
nothing.
recent years.
You are the one who has nothing. And you are saying things and then taking them 1 minute after saying that you didn't say it. All right. Okay. I mean, honestly, I feel like Michael Knowles is a hero. He's trying so hard and so calm to speak to her and explain things, but she ain't listening. They don't want to listen. And that's they don't want to hear him out. They don't want to hear anything. And not only that, they're lying. They're blatantly lying.
Don't. You've
Well,
been
that's
struggling this entire
news to
time.
me. Have I?
Yeah, you have.
I'm struggling to speak because you are not shutting up.
I think the trans lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Bye. Goodbye.
Perhaps I'll see you on my show.
Yes, invite me.
Yeah.
Get my email. Tell your people to get my email address. How about
Sure,
that?
yeah.
Good job.
Good job, what? Okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Okay, so if we're gonna think about women getting raped in bathrooms, right? It's a small percentage of trans people that are doing it. I'm not denying
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a possibility. It exists. It's out there, and we need to stop it. We cannot say, oh, but it's just one victim. It's fine, one in a time. Like once a month. It's okay. It's not that bad.
That's happening because it is a reality and it's an awful thing for women to have to go through.
Yeah.
But then what are we doing about the men that are the 93% of sexual violence towards women?
No, hopefully arresting them and putting them in prison.
Yep.
And what are you doing before that? Why are men the highest percentage for this? If it's such a bad thing for trans women to use the bathroom when a very, very, very small amount of women are being raped by trans women, why are we not having any sort of things before for men?
I think we try to enforce our laws and protect people from rape, and so we take...
Apparently not very well.
No, I think...
Yeah, but keep in mind that the moment you see a man entering a woman's bathroom on camera from outside, not inside, cameras should not be inside a bathroom, that's immediately already a big red flag. And anyone who sees that will react. All right? But now you have the idea of, I'm allowed to go inside because I have a skirt. And once you are inside, no cameras, nothing, who can prove what can happen, no men to help. This is what you don't understand. You are giving them the opportunity to do something. Men who do that, they do it illegally from zero moment, all right? Like from the moment they do a decision and walk one step, that's already a crime. But you are enforcing it. You are allowing it. That's not right.
Relatively well. We have a relatively low rate of these kinds of violent crimes compared to other places in the world. But in one area, we're talking about men forcing themselves into women's bathrooms. This is one area where we don't need to allow them to do that. It's a needless risk. It's based on a false view of reality and claims of rights, so-called rights, from confused men that infringe on the legitimate rights of women, not just in bathrooms, but also in sports competitions, also in scholarships, also in just about anywhere else in society. So I think that we have the right to insist upon some kind of reality, because I think not only will that be better for women, not only will that be better for society broadly, but that especially will be better for the individuals who are confused about their gender identity.
And how are you going to prevent trans women from using the female bathroom? How are you going to tell? What's the tea?
There are some giveaways, contrary to what the trans activists
and what are
say.
They?
Men who identify as women, you can usually tell.
And what are they? You can tell all you want.
Yeah, broad shoulders, Adam's apple, and like the face, and
Right.
Yeah. You can tell. You can usually tell.
Usually.
Not all the time, but usually, yeah.
Okay. So if you can only usually tell, what are you going to do to prevent it?
Well, look, a man who doesn't even identify as trans, a man who's just a nefarious fellow could sneak into a woman's bathroom. And so we have to enforce the law.
That's why I brought up the 93%, because what are you doing about men?
We should enforce the law against people who break it.
And what are you doing before that? Like, why is it a continuous pattern for men
we teach
to do
people
this?
in class.
You're not teaching them very well, apparently. I mean, we have Republican parties who are literally putting a president.
We are not teaching because they had no rights to teach them. You were teaching them the other way around. Biology doesn't even exist anymore in America.
Who is a felon who has sexually assaulted people. What does that say to men?
Yeah, no one really buys that.
I bought it.
No one really buys that. No one seriously thinks that Donald Trump is a rapist. I know we pretend because the Democrats were trying to prosecute him 4 different ways and kicking him off the...
If rape is such a bad thing, why don't you believe women when they say it's happening? Because you're not believing...
Here we go. Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni all over again. The Me Too movement. Every woman is right. Every woman, she cannot lie. A woman cannot lie. A woman cannot pretend something happened. I always trust a woman if a white man is against her. Always. The white man is the one who did the deed. How brainwashed can you be? And prove someone guilty. The court should prove someone guilty. Before that, it's all allegedly. It's all allegations.
Trump, when he says that he didn't do it, whatever, but you're not believing the woman.
Yeah, the claim you're making about Trump obviously was not criminally prosecuted. It comes from about 30 years ago from a woman who previously said that she likes rape and finds it, scintillating. Gross. And I know it's terrible. Yeah. So anyway,
women has ever said that.
That woman did. The Trump's accuser literally said that to Anderson Cooper.
fact checks. Jane Carroll said in an interview with Anderson Cooper, I think most people think of are as being sexy, think of that fantasies. No.
On CNN, but
Sure, I'm sure a fetish with like consenting adults might be different, but no woman knowingly goes out into this world and says, I love to be raped.
I'm just using the example you brought up, which is the accuser of Donald Trump. But anyway, no one really believes Trump's a rapist. And so your question is, why don't we... Okay, I guess maybe some people in this room. You ask, why don't we just believe all women all the time? Well, I do think we should give a lot of deference to people who are accusing others of crimes. And so, we have courts of law to adjudicate these claims. So, I don't know. I don't think women are incapable of lying, but I do think that we should protect their legitimate political rights.
Even when women do lie, though, it's a very, very, very small percentage. Point blank, period. So, what again are you doing? Like, you care to claim about women so much because trans people in the bathroom is so scary.
My claim
what
here
are we doing
is
in other areas?
My actual claim here is that transgenderism is false, and we should eradicate it from public life because it's harmful to everyone.
Okay.
That's my actual. If you want to talk about the claim, we're actually
debating.
Then. Yeah.
What does transgenderism in public look like to you?
It's allowing men to be treated for the purposes of the law as women. It's men taking 900 sports trophies from women in recent years.
And they didn't take 900.
They took 900. There's a report just came out from the United Nations.
A UN report stated over 600 female athletes have lost more than 890 medals in 29 different sports. Wow. The August 2024 report also stated the replacement of the female sports category with a mixed sex category has resulted in an increasing number of female athletes losing opportunities. I genuinely think that there are no people that hate women more than trans women.
Nations, actually, 890 trophies and medals across 600 women who were competitors across 29 different sports and 400 competitions. That came out like yesterday.
And they deserved them.
They hate women. They hate women. Like, they, for their own whatever happiness, they will step over every single woman blatantly. Like, you can see it. It is happening. They don't care. If they don't care about me, why would I care about them? And thank God we have Donald Trump.
It didn't happen, and they deserve them. Okay, that is the logic I hear from the pro-trans crowd. Yeah.
Thank you. They do deserve them because I'm sure they followed the specifications for the sport, and that's why they were there in the first place.
What specifications? Look at his face. He's so done. He's so done talking to them. They are so delusional. Why is he trying? I swear he should just stop trying. Don't give an F. Like, let's move on. They lost their rights. Hopefully it's going to be implemented around the world as well, and see that as well in Germany, and that's it. Let's get back to normal. Please. I don't want to deal with issues like this anymore. Oh, here we go. Hello.
So I think I want to start off by asking you what your solution is to, like, the word eradicating. What do you mean by that?
Well, the word literally means to pull up by the root. So not just to have some half measure where you say, okay, we're only going to trans kids after the age of 9, but not under the age of 9. Okay, we're only going to let men who identify as women go into this bathroom, but not that sports team or whatever. I don't think a half measure makes any sense. In fact, I think a lot of the conservative arguments.
You're not answering my question. What's the solution?
Oh, it means to uproot it.
How do you do that? I want to know how you're going to uproot an entire percentage of people.
I'm not uprooting people. I would return American public law to what it was before roughly 2015.
I don't understand the perspective of how you or the Conservative Party is going to make any sort of progress in eradicating an entire percentage. I think it's just
we're not eradicating people. You're trying to say that because it makes us look crazy.
That's what you're saying.
No, I said I want to eradicate a whole ideology of transgenderism.
Trans people. That is going to be people that you are taking.
Like, if I want to eradicate poverty, that doesn't mean I want to kill all the poor people.
I'm not saying
quite the opposite.
So basically what he's trying to say, he wants to solve a problem. What he sees in transgenderism is a problem, an issue, probably a mental issue that needs to be addressed and needs to be treated in mental institutions by psychologists and whatnot and deal with that issue as a young age as possible, in order like to inform and educate as young as possible, in order to not have this high percentage of people. And you can say it's low, but it is high in America. Honestly, even 1% is high. So I don't disagree with this, and I don't completely agree, because there will somehow, even if you try to educate people, there will still be somehow someone who will be like, yeah, I am a trans. And then what happens? Like, I would like to know, her question is kind of valid. So I would like to know what that means.
I'm saying that you want to kill. I'm asking
Not
you what
kill.
your plan, like what in the best case scenario, how are you going to get people to stop being trans?
I think we're going to tell boys that they're not girls,
so we're
that they're
going to
boys.
tell boys that they're not girls, and they're going to listen.
Yeah, basically.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we've done for most of history. Yeah.
I don't think that every boy will listen, you know. And if it is not transgenderism, it's going to be, I am a dog, I am a cat, I am a bird, I want to go and fly. Like, you know, like, I don't know about this, because like mental issues, they stick with you for the rest of your life as well. Like, there is not, it's something, yeah, you can treat it, but a lot of people treat it with pills. They treat it with weekly visits to the psychologist, talking about their problems. I'm talking about something that is a bit more complex, not something that, for example, you went through a hard period in your life at one point. And this identity thing is, back in the day, every person with some identity crisis, they would say schizophrenia or something else. And we would have a lot more people who would end up in a mental institution. But now we don't have that, right? Now, crazy people are crazy people and they're walking around. I'm not saying that all trans people are crazy people. I'm saying that they're just walking around, you know, they're doing their own thing. And we are allowing that. Like, it's fine, you know, he identifies as that. No, it's not. Can we say that that person is crazy? Not everyone, but that person, you know?
And I can promise you to God that I didn't listen.
Yeah, well, because we live at a time that is affirming the transgender delusion. But if we lived at a more sensible time, probably you would have listened, and you
But
might have
we're
had
not.
some. And I think we should just return to a more sensible kind of politics.
What is yours? You're not giving a solution on how you would even be capable of
Yeah, I
doing
think I
something
am.
like
I think
that.
we kicked the fellas out of the boys' bathroom. We kicked the
How are
transgender
you
teaching
going
out of
to do
schools.
that?
We just enforced the law as it was before 2015.
There was
it's not
a
that
law
hard.
prohibiting trans women to go into the women's bathroom, or trans men going into the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there in the term women's bathroom.
That's a law.
That's why men can't go
That's
in.
a law.
Yeah. Yes, there are all sorts of laws against public indecency, for one, against men going into women's sports leagues. There are all sorts of regulations against that, or at least there were until recently. We did not have established in public life transgenderism until very, very recently.
That's not true.
That is
That's not
true.
true. What about the two-spirited people
What is the two-spirited people?
in the indigenous
I love how we actually genuinely be like, what is that?
community? They are
Let's see, what's
two-spirited
that?
people.
What is the two-spirited people?
In the indigenous community, they are. I don't want to get into semantics, but I know that the fact is that there has always been trans people.
He asks for a definition, and she's like, I don't know, I heard about it somewhere. But the fact is that, like, you don't even do the research. You hear something somewhere, some gossip, something said that you kind of agree with, and you think it's cool because you know more. You mention indigenous people, two-spirit, and that's what she's that's it. That's it. That's how far we go. That's how we're educated.
Do you know where the phrase two-spirited came from?
I don't.
It came from
enlighten me.
It came from the 3rd annual Intertribal Native American First Nations Gay and Lesbian Americans Conference in 1990. And the woman who coined that term...
I just don't think that that's true.
Two-spirit is an indigenous term to describe an individual who identifies as having a masculine and feminine spirit. It was coined by Elder Meyer Laramie in 1990. The term came to her in a dream.
It's true.
Like,
the woman who coined that term admitted.
again,
Hold
like,
on.
you're
Let me just finish my point on this. The woman who coined that term, Maya Laramie, admitted somewhat recently that the term two-spirit came to her in a dream in 1990. Now, the Ojibwe Nation actually has translated this term. It's the Niche Mani Duwag, but they translated it from the English in 1990.
How you're capable of eradicating an entire percentage of people by setting laws, because people are
you're not. I think you're choosing not to hear what I'm saying, because I'm saying we don't want to eradicate any people. We want to eradicate
in the prompt?
But the other word is transgenderism, which is an ideology, not a group of people.
I am a transgender person. You can't just
you are
skip
a
over
confused
that
person, but
I'm
you're not,
babe. I'm so secure in myself, and there's other women in this room that are also trans, have been trans for 20 plus years.
Yeah, you are not confused anymore. You know, when you tell your brain one thing and you repeat it multiple times, that your actual brain will believe it, even if it is not true. Yeah, it's scientific. You can go and check it, Google it. Like, literally, you can make yourself believe anything you want if you keep repeating and working on your brain to actually believe it. And that's why people say don't think negatively all the time, because then you will become a depressed person. You will see everything around you in a negative light, which is true. Always have the positive side. Always think that you will succeed, that you are successful, that you are this, that you are that, because that's what your brain is going to believe in. And that's what your brain is going to work harder on accomplishing and becoming. You know, it's like wear confidence. You wear confidence. You believe that you are confident, and then you show confidence. It's simple as that.
7 years, babe, that know exactly what they're doing.
You're confused because it's not possible for a man to become a woman.
How are you capable of looking at somebody without knowing their bodily autonomy, knowing anything that's going on with their medical history, anything?
Because I know
nothing
I know
about
the
me.
basics of human nature.
You know nothing about me.
I know that you're
I don't
human.
even know. Yeah.
And I know a little bit about human nature. And I know that a boy can't become a girl. So that's what I know.
Does anybody want to take over?
You're tapping out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tapping out. Interesting. All right. I think we're going to stop here. If you want to check out the whole Jubilee episode, you can go there. But if you want part 2 and you want me to react to the second part, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, we are going to stop here. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe how delusional they are and how much they don't want to listen. And then when he comes with actual, like, educated facts, they don't want to even hear it. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to accept it. And they have nothing else to say except that I feel a feeling, emotions. Like, these are the things that we are talking about, you know? But at the end of the day, are we really going to talk about feelings and emotions when actual lives matter? Actual women are getting the bad endings? Like, come on. Like, let's get back to normality and let's talk about issues that are really important.
You are a summer and after